What's up, sports bettors? Got a little late night play, 5 early player props. Every single player prop is for the Lakers-Warriors game. And without further ado, let's just kind of get into it. So my first play is going to be from the OddsJam sportsbook screen, right? So when I'm using this tool, which basically just gives you kind of a profile view of the entire market. So we're currently looking at NBA player rebounds. So here you can see every single sportsbook in the market where they're setting their line. Right? So what you're going to notice is there's a pretty big discrepancy right here. No House Advantage has Looney at 14.5, underdog PrizePicks. So again, PrizePicks is a platform. No House Advantage is a new competitor to PrizePicks. It works in basically the exact same way as PrizePicks. So if you look at PrizePicks, they have Looney's line at 13.5 rebounds. Every sportsbook also has Looney's line at 13.5 rebounds. Underdog Fantasy is at 13.5. Right? So because all these sports books try to set lines independently, sometimes they screw up and they offer too much value on either an over or an under. So for Draymond Green, all the books have Draymond's line at 6.5 rebounds. No House Advantage, PrizePicks, Underdog Fantasy. There's no discrepancy between these fantasy sites. There's no value in the market. We don't want to touch Draymond Green, his over or his under. Right? For Jared Vanderbilt, all the books have his line at 5.5. There's no value. But here, Looney's line is at 14.5 on No House Advantage. Underdog, PrizePicks, the other fantasy sites, they have his line at 13.5, so a full rebound lower. And every sportsbook also has Looney's line at 13.5. So every sportsbook, as a sharp bettor, we treat every sportsbook as a data point on where the line should be set, and we hunt for value. And here it's really clear, No House Advantage is just too high. Looney's line is 13.5 everywhere else. And on No House Advantage, it's 14.5. So we want to take the under. This is a sharp player prop pick to go with on No House Advantage. So this is the first play I went with. Again, I found this on the OddsJam Sportsbook screen. So you just go to screen, Sportsbook screen, and this is the first player prop that I'm going with. So next, before we kind of get into my other 4 picks, I have 5 picks for the Lakers-Warriors game, is just kind of an explanation about how No House Advantage works. Right? So basically with No House Advantage, the way this platform works is any 5 picks you select in a 5-pick entry, if you go 5 for 5, you're getting a 12x payout. If you go 4 for 5, you're getting a 2.6x payout. Right? It doesn't matter if I take this if I change this to an over and this to an over. It doesn't matter if I replace, Curry, let's say, with a different golf pick. It doesn't matter. Any 5 picks you select, overs, unders, golf picks, baseball, whatever, you're always getting a 2.6x payout if you go 4 for 5. And if you go 5 for 5, you're getting a 12x payout. So basically what you can do, and what I ended up doing, is just kind of in this spreadsheet, and I'll include this in the description on YouTube so you can kind of play around with it, see how the numbers work, everything like that. But basically what you're going to see is to beat No House Advantage, so I'll just end up removing some of these picks, to be profitable on No House Advantage, all you have to do is win 53.22% of your player props, right? So that's your break-even win rate, right? So long story short, if you just take the payouts from No House Advantage and you back out, okay, what percentage of my picks do I have to win to be profitable? It's 53.22%. Right? So if you can select these over-unders correctly at a rate of, let's say, these over-unders, if you can get these correctly at a rate of, let's say, 55%, you're going to be really profitable on No House Advantage. You're going to have an ROI of 14%. Right? So all you have to do to beat this platform, it's a fixed payout platform. They're not changing your payouts based on you selecting over or under. So all you have to do is find an advantage and find player props that are winning over 53.22% of the time. Right? What No House Advantage assumes is most sports bettors, they don't have an edge. Right? They don't know anything about data. They don't know how to find plays with an edge. So most sports bettors, can only select these over-unders correctly 50% of the time. If you blindly selected over or under, this guy, as an example, this golf player, he's always going to be going over 3.5 birdies or under 3.5 birdies. So anyone can hit a win rate of 50%. If you're able to get 50% of your picks correct, that means you have no advantage. If you win 50% of your over-unders and you lose the other 50%. So as a sharp bettor, what we need to do, if we want to make money on this platform, is find player props that are winning over 53.22% of the time, right? So what I end up using to find player props on No House Advantage that are hitting, that are winning over 53.22% of the time, is I use the OddsJam positive EV, positive expected value betting tool. right? So the way this tool works is pretty simple, and I'll go ahead and I'll open up a couple of these calculators as well. But all all OddsJam is doing, right, is it's reading in all these lines, tennis lines, NBA lines from, PrizePicks, No House Advantage, as well as all the sports books, right? We know on No House Advantage they're not changing our payouts based on us selecting over or under. And we know all we got to do to be profitable on this platform is win 53.22% of our picks. So what OddsJam does is it shows you lines that you can bet on No House Advantage that sportsbooks have one side heavily favored. So to be very clear here, just to go through this example, if you look at Austin Reaves under 4.5 rebounds, the bet in bold and in green, that's the profitable play you want to go with on OddsJam. So here it's, there's a profitable play on No House Advantage, but I explained this in other videos. You want to have as many sports books as possible, right? All these books have different lines. Sometimes there's more profitable bets on FanDuel. So here you can see FanDuel's giving you yes run first inning and Twins White Sox at plus 106. Most other sports books aren't even giving you plus money. So FanDuel's a pretty clear line discrepancy here, right? This is a profitable bet we'd want to go with on FanDuel, right? So this play on Austin Reaves, it's not available on PrizePicks, right? A lot of people will be like, oh, why would I sign up for another sports book? I already use PrizePicks. Well, that line on Looney was only available on No House Advantage, right? There's no value on PrizePicks on Looney over under 13.5 rebounds. That's in line with the market. The value's on Looney under 14.5 rebounds. So here, this line on Austin Reaves, essentially every sportsbook is a data point, and they're all telling us the same thing. Every sportsbook has Reaves a lot more likely to go under as opposed to over. Every sportsbook has Austin Reaves under 4.5 rebounds heavily juiced, right? So all these books set lines independently, so they're all essentially just data points, right, telling us where a line should be set, and every sportsbook is saying roughly the same thing. Austin Reaves is a lot more likely to go under as opposed to over, right? His under is heavily juiced on all the sports books. And I mean, this play is a clear example. Crazy high profit margin, 8.68%. And sports books have Reaves under 4.5 rebounds juiced to like minus 160 on average, right? So you got to remember, like, sports books tell you the win probabilities for bets through the odds they're putting out. So as an example, tomorrow, the Warriors are roughly minus 200 odds, right? Minus 200 means a 2-to-1 betting favorite. 2-to-1 favorite, right? 2-to-1 favorite means 2/3 to win the game, 66.67% to win the game, right? So if a team is minus 200 to win, or a bet is minus 200 to win, I mean, this is just a bet, just like this play on Austin Reaves. I mean, they're both just bets. So if a team is minus 200, they're a 2-to-1 betting favorite, right? They're 66.67% to win, according to the sports betting market, which is roughly the Warriors tomorrow. So here, Austin Reaves, he's not all the way up at minus 200, but all the sports books are telling you through their odds is, hey, Austin Reaves, he's a lot more likely to go under as opposed to over, right? So this is a profitable play. We know on No House Advantage, all you got to do if you want to beat this platform and make money long term, all you have to do is win 53.22% of your picks. So you turn to the sports books, right? Which is exactly what OddsJam is doing. What OddsJam is doing is it's just showing you the player prop bets on No House Advantage, such as, for the Lakers-Warriors game, we have Reaves under 4.5 rebounds. This is a sharp bet to go with because all the sports books have the under heavily favored. And again, No House Advantage is a platform that doesn't even change your payout based on you selecting over or under. So this is a really clear, profitable betting opportunity that's winning over 53.22% of the time. Reaves under 4.5 rebounds in Lakers-Warriors game 2. So then what I ended up using as well to find a couple of the last picks is right here. So it's called the fantasy screen. And essentially what this tool does is exactly what we were just talking about, right? It reads in sportsbook odds and then tells you the win probability for your bet. Right? So essentially, based on all the sports books having this line on Austin Reaves, all the sports books having Reaves' under juiced to around minus 160, the under is about 57.66% to occur, let's say 58%. So Reaves, according to the betting market, according to all these data points, and it's not just like there's one data point. We have every sports book is saying the same thing, roughly. I mean, again, books have slightly different odds from book to book, but every single sports book is saying the same thing. Right? Reaves is more likely to go under. So it's a fact. Reaves is more likely to go under. These are billion-dollar companies. They have better models than you have. They've invested hundreds of millions of dollars in their ability to set lines. Reaves is more likely to go under 4.5 rebounds as opposed to over 4.5 rebounds, right? It's just what the data is showing you. Just like the Lakers are favored to win the game tomorrow. You know, if you go to the NBA, it's like the Lakers are favored to win tomorrow. Or I apologize. The Lakers are underdogs tomorrow. So you can see right here, the Lakers are plus 200 underdogs, right? The Lakers aren't more likely to win the game tomorrow against the Warriors. If you truly believed, right, and you had high confidence that the Lakers had a higher win probability tomorrow than the Lakers or than the Warriors, I apologize. I'm getting twisted on my words. It's late at night. But if you're more confident that the Lakers are going to win tomorrow than the Warriors, if you think the Lakers have a win rate above 50%, you would literally be taking out a loan to hammer the Lakers money line at plus 200. Right? Like you're getting plus 200 odds. So if you think the Lakers are more likely to win, you're betting 10 to win 20. Obviously you would want to bet on the Lakers money line. But the thing is this is the market, right? This is where there's equal demand coming in on both sides, both the Lakers and the Warriors. So sportsbook odds are are a very good representation of the true win probability for a bet. So long story short, kind of getting stumbled on my words here, but the Lakers are a 2-1 betting favorite tomorrow. Austin Reaves a lot more likely to go under as opposed to over. So we want to take his under in our entry. So anyways, what the fantasy screen does is very similar to the positive EV tool. Everything is just based in data. Everything is based in sportsbook odds. There's no fancy stuff going on here. All you have to do, it's really simple, right? This is literally just breaking down the payouts behind No House Advantage. Is if you want to make money on this platform, all you have to do, one goal, is win over 53.22% of your picks. If you win 55% of your player props on No House Advantage, you're going to make money long term. That's it. This is literally just the math breaking down their payouts. There's nothing complicated, right? So long story short, what the fantasy screen shows you is just the player props based on sportsbook odds that are above 53.22% to hit, and they're highlighted in green, right? So Looney, Austin Reaves, under 4.5 rebounds. We know, according to the sportsbooks, his under is more likely than the over. So we know the under is the favored outcome. We know the under is going to be hitting over 50% of the time. But what the fantasy screen shows you is it just quantifies that, right? Minus 200 odds means 2-1 betting favorite, 2/3 to win, 66.67% to win. It's no different here. You can use sportsbook odds, right? All the books have Reaves around minus 160 and convert that into a win probability for the under, right? So Dennis Schroeder, over 8.5 points. All the sports books have his over, heavily favored, right? All the books have Schroeder's over 8.5 points as the juiced outcome, as you can see right here. So this plays also on the positive EV tool. So you're going to see all the sports books have Schroeder's over favored. So I'm just following the data, and you're going to see there's some overlap between the positive EV tool and the fantasy screen, right? The only difference really is the fantasy screen quantifies the win probability for your bet. So any play hitting over 53.22% of the time is going to be highlighted in green. If the plays are just a touch profitable, 53.24%, they may be in yellow. But long story short, like you don't want to take these plays in red, right? Because there's not much juice. Sportsbooks don't really have one side favored. So for example, for Draymond Green, over under 6.5 rebounds, books have his over very slightly favored, but nothing like Reaves where they have, or Schroeder where they have the over very heavily favored, right? So you just want to find 5 picks on No House Advantage where sportsbooks have a lot of juice. I mean, this plays incredible on Austin Reaves, around minus 140, minus 160, whatever, on one side. So again, pretty simple strategy because No House Advantage, just like PrizePicks, this is a platform where they're not varying your payout based on you selecting over or under. You just want to find spots where sportsbooks have one side, either the under or the over, heavily favored. In this case, it's Reeves' under, right? So we want to take the under on No House Advantage. So my 5-pick entry is Curry under 31.5 points, Schroeder over 8.5 points, Reaves under 4.5 rebounds, Looney under 14.5 rebounds, Poole over 16.5 points plus rebounds. All these plays just found on the fantasy screen, the positive EV tool, or that first tool we looked at is actually where I found the Curry play, which was called the OddsJam Sportsbook screen. So hopefully this video was helpful. 5 late night plays, for you guys. Really good value. Sportsbooks can slip up late at night, early in the morning, whatever. You never know when you're going to find value as a sharp bettor. So hopefully this video